what level of corruption is going on in this Liberal leadership race? 250,000 of 400,000 registered voters have been disqualified by the party. The Liberal Party's almost entirely online leadership voting process is turning into a banana republic-style scandal on the eve of the vote, hinting at backroom deals, voter suppression, and maybe even foreign interference. Elections Canada, the RCMP, and CSIS need to audit this process immediately. Demand transparency and sign the petition at auditcarney.com. Now, here's what we know. The Liberal Party initially boasted about signing up nearly 400,000 members to vote for its next leader. Now, according to the party, only about 150,000 of those registered members have been approved to vote, meaning a shocking 250,000 people have been disqualified. The Liberals turfed outsider leadership candidate Ruby Dalla for vague campaign finance issues and an allegation about a foreign national working on her campaign. But in the meantime, they've conveniently kept all the money she brought in and seem perfectly fine with endorsements from Obama-era Democrat staffers. If almost 2/3 of the registered voters were silenced, was this really an election at all, or just a pre-planned coronation for Mark Carney? Now, who were the 250,000 silenced voters? If the party proudly announced 400,000 registered voters on January 30th, 2025, why were 2/3 disqualified by March 7th, 2025, just hours before the convention? Were they fake accounts, bots, cats and dogs, or foreign nationals? If so, why did the Liberals allow them to register in the first place? Was it to brag about the numbers? Were they real Liberal supporters who just failed some arbitrary verification process? If so, why wasn't that process made transparent to anyone? And what was that process? Or more disturbingly, were these just people the party feared wouldn't vote for Mark Carney? If the Liberals control who gets a ballot, then they control who becomes the Prime Minister. And that should alarm every Canadian, Liberal or not. We already know the fix is in for Mark Carney. He's a private citizen at this point with no seat in the House of Commons, and yet he was given a secret government briefing on U.S. tariffs by Foreign Affairs Minister Melanie Joly when no other candidate received one. They already know who's going to win, whether the voters want him or not. Now, this is the same Liberal playbook we've seen for years. Silence voices that don't fit the agenda, suppress information that exposes their corruption, hide the information that might expose their corruption, and manipulate the processes to maintain control. This isn't just about a party leadership race. Whoever wins this is automatically the next Prime Minister of Canada. This means every Canadian, not just Liberal Party members, should be demanding answers. We know the Chinese government meddled in the last two federal elections in favor of the Liberals. And the vulnerabilities in the Liberal nomination processes and the leadership process were laid bare for all of us to see in the Foreign Interference Commission. And none of those vulnerabilities were addressed by the Liberal Party.
We could have a situation here in Canada where a Prime Minister resigns from office, the registered political party conducts an election for the leader. That election, if subject to the same kind of rules that some of the parties have outlined here today and yesterday at the Commission, would result in the appointment of a Prime Minister who does not have a seat in the House of Commons and who was elected through a process that was significantly compromised by non-citizens and by foreign state actors. And so that's why I think, that's why I'm very concerned, not just about some of the evidence that we've heard here in front of the Commission with respect to party nominations, but also how it relates to the appointment of heads of government, particularly the appointment of a Prime Minister by the Governor General.
Who is responsible for disqualifying 250,000 registered voters? The Trudeau Liberals have always rigged the system to protect their own power. They're doing it right now by proroguing Parliament in the middle of a tariff crisis so that they can replace Trudeau. But this time, it's about more than just a party leadership race. It's about whether Canada's next Prime Minister is being chosen by the people who want to be involved in the process or by Liberal Party insiders and foreign interests. Elections Canada, CSIS, and the RCMP all need to do a forensic audit immediately. Demand transparency and sign the petition at auditcarney.com. Canadians need to know the next Prime Minister, whether we like him or not, is legitimate. That is, if Elections Canada can pull some manpower off hunting for illegal books written by journalists critical of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn-Reid. Canadians need to have trust in how the next Prime Minister of this country is being selected. If 2/3 of the registered voters are being disqualified, we need to know by whom and why. The RCMP, CSIS, and Elections Canada need to do a forensic audit immediately. Go to auditcarney.com.